nag-usap itong China na to. So diplomacy is less about compromise but more about imposing their will on the Philippines. Just to be clear about this, the Cayetano term in the Department of Foreign Affairs, it coincided with the so-called at least three no's dead red line nila, which is no militarization or reclamation sa Scarborough Shoal, no unilateral development of resources sa ating sa West Philippines, sa ating exclusive economic zone, and pangatlo sabi nila no forcible expulsion of our troops. I'm just trying to be fair also to them because this is officially
Yeah.
what Cayetano said. But can you just clarify to us why yung sinasabing status quo ni Harry Roque is inherently inimical to our national interest or contrary to our national interest as the DFA put it? Can you explain to us the logistics of that? If hindi natin na-fortify itong BRP Sierra Madre, how is that against our national interest? Para lang doon sa mga iba na mukhang hindi nila alam yung logistical realities on the ground.
Okay, just for context, meron tayong 9 islands or formations or reefs na ino-occupy, no? Then kasama na diyan yung Ayungin. Yung Ayungin through the BRP Sierra Madre, no? So yung status ko nung rotation nung sa Pag-asa and other outposts, walang problema doon. Pero kung ipe-prevent mo yung pag-repair ng BRP Sierra Madre, detrimental to our interest yun. Kasi nga, ano na siya dilapidated na yung barko at pagka hindi yan na-repair ng maayos, talagang ano na yan, baka isang typhoon na lang yan, it would be swept away. No? Pagka nawala yan dyan, therefore, pwede na nilang dapaan yung ayungin na yan to prevent yung outpost. Ngayon, ilalagay lang natin yung history niyan. Bakit ba natin sinadsad yan? Sinadsad natin yan in response dun sa pagkuha nila ng Mischief Reef. Di ba? Mischief Reef, una, naglagay sila ng
1995, no? Tapos
fisherman
1999.
shelter, gano'n. Tapos eventually nilagyan na nila ng base. So in response, ito ngayon, yung ERAP administration, nagsadsad sila ng BRP Sierra Madre. I was still in the Navy then, kaya alam ko yung surrounding circumstances noon. Maraming mga options na nilatag noon for in response dun sa ginawa nila sa Mischief Reef. Pero ultimately, they ended up with deliberately was this running aground ditong BRP Sierra Madre. Pero ang nakita ko lang na bago nito, noong una yung rotation, mga Navy, personnel lang nandiyan dyan, may officer pa. So yung maintenance ng barko, inherent yan sa Philippine Navy personnel. Yung pagre-repair ng deck, pag-maintain ng naval guns, yung communications equipment, etc. But then, during the GMA administration, they decided, I don't know kung sinong mga leaders noon, na they decided palitan yung Navy personnel ng mga Marine personnel. Okay. Yung Marines, yan sila sabi ko nga, sa digmaan, maasahan mo sila. But they don't have any idea on how to maintain a Navy ship. So, simula nun, wala na, napabayaan na. Kasi nung Navy pa lang yun nandoon, naka-assign doon, kahit nakasadsad siya, they were operating as though this was a regularly commissioned Navy ship. So yung nire-repair, nire-repaint yung deck na kinakalawang, ano siya, as thorough yung maintenance niya as the ships na nandoon sa Cavite Naval Base. Pero nung tinanggal na, ito na ngayon, na dilapidated na talaga siya, napapabayaan na siya. Kaya ang initial suggestion ko dyan, mag-redeploy tayo ng Navy personnel dyan, yung mga bosun's mate rating na tinatawag namin, those who are adept at maintaining the deck, no, the ship. So kaya nilang i-repair yan. Would you believe, Richard, pagka binalik mo yan sa Navy with the proper logistical support, they can bring that back to almost original state. Kaya nila yan kahit nandun
Mm.
sa gitna ng ayungin. Kasi
Right.
that's the maintenance culture of the Philippine Navy.
Senator Trinas, I really appreciate this kasi parati kong iniisip this kasi I give talks do sa iba-ibang
Mm.
branch ng AFP. Yung isang time sa mga Marines naman, sabi niya, Sir, actually kami yung nagbabantay dyan. And then, oh nga no, sabi ko, yeah, Marines. So I was wondering, ano yung kasaysayan na yung Marines ay nandun, hindi yung
Mm.
Philippine Navy. So thank you so much for explaining that, which I think is a perfect segue, no? Because the next thing I want to talk about is itong quadrilateral patrols. Finally, nangyari yan. Now, of course, may ibang mga ex Duterte official na senador ngayon na re-election is nagte-take credit dito sa quadrilateral summit na yan kasi na-mention daw niya last year and I was saying actually mini-mention namin lahat yan for 6, 7 years dahil lang sa dating boss mo hindi nangyari yan, so it has nothing to do with you. But anyway, putting aside itong mga antics ng mga ex Duterte official now suddenly matapang na sa West Philippine Sea,
Eh,
anong ambag ng itong quadrilateral patrols na yan and other things na inisip natin? Because, Senator Jones, let me be very honest about this. I'm a little bit annoyed with the patronizing tone coming from some of the American experts and official na tulungan natin mga Pilipino, kailangan nila ng joint patrols, mga ganun. Like, I see the point of stronger military cooperation and all. Pero katulad ng sinabi niyo kanina, kayang-kaya naman natin gawin yan. We can fortify this on our own. Uh,
mm.
mas may malalaki tayong mga barko, di ba? We haven't used the best of the best yet, di ba? Um, Logistically, what is your suggestion here? Should the Philippines also do joint resupply with the US? Should the Americans have drones in the area all the time? Or corvettes or frigates? How can our allies be more useful? And how can we make sure China doesn't harass us the way they have done? Kasi, ang tanong ko rin dito sa inyo, Senator Trillanes, is that for a long time, from the time you did your own backdoor negotiations with China to this gentleman's agreement, etc., under Digong, China has not fired a shot. I mean, as far as guns goes or cannons go. But itong mga water cannoning nila is increasingly lethal. Kaya ang suggestion ko, sabi ko sa gobyerno, i-compare nyo yung punching power ni Mike Tyson dun sa water cannon. So people realize lethal ito. It's almost lethal. So what are the options we have? What is the best way for us to assert our rights there without being harassed or do it best and at the same time make sure we get help from our allies?
Okay. Um, marami, no? Maraming pwedeng gawin. Pero kasi intindihan natin, kung ang objective ng Marcos administration is to draw international attention, kasi talagang if you charter a wooden ship, talagang bubugbugin siya na that way, no? But kung gusto mo ng kung ipapadala mo yung white ships mo, yung Coast Guard vessels mo na medyo malaki-laki, kaya naman i-withstand yung water cannons na yon kasi they were designed actually to withstand mga typhoons, di ba? Yung lang water cannon kaya yon. Ngayon, another way is pwede kayong makipag bombahan ng water cannon doon, di ba? Meron din yung Coast Guard, which is what the Japanese Coast Guard did during the Senkaku standoff. Pero para na kayong mga batang nagwa-water gun na di ba? Battle. Ano yan there's nothing to be achieved there. Kaya nga depende 'yon sa focus or purpose ng Marcos administration. If it's to draw international attention kung paano nang bubuli yung China, well, they were able to achieve it. 'Di ba? They were able to achieve that. Kasi kung Coast Guard vessel dadali mo diyan, kahit na ano yan, ano yan kayang-kaya yon barko. So hindi ka gaano makakagain ng sympathy, di ba? Pero dahil doon, di ba? If it's really by design, ito ngayon nakadraw ka ng mga international coalition to at least help us, support us. Then itong na-mention mo na quad patrols, ito naman parang ano lang ito. This is just to give China an idea na we're not alone in this, di ba? Pwede yan, yung freedom of navigation patrols operations. Pero malayo yan yung pinagawa ng pinagpatrolyahan nung Quad doon sa Ayungin. Now, if we would send our gray ships doon sa Ayungin to resupply, ano to? Kumbaga, pwede mong gawin yan pero kailangan kakalkulate mo din ano ba yung magiging response nila. So pataas ng pataas yan, escalate ng escalate yan. So until magkakaroon ka ng standoff, then doon ka ngayon. Babalik ka doon sa situation doon sa 2012 na ano yon, depende na yun sa kausap. Pero I believe the back channel approach that worked in 2012 may not work this time around because again of the foreign policy shift of the Xi Jinping administration, which is ano na, open expansion na. At ano na sila, parang bordering rogue state na sila, no? Nawala na yung Belt and Road, ano, 'di ba? Economic, kumbaga they were trying to charm the whole world with their economic might. Pero ito hindi na. Na tipong, sige, we will stand toe-to-toe with you on this. Now, yung sinasabi natin, pwede, another approach is, and I've been suggesting this, pwede naman heliborne yung operations. Yung ating ship
Aerial.
na, oo, kahit Coast Guard ship yan, may heliborne capacity yan. So magdadala sila doon, 10 minutes away, ayungin, they will drop the supplies. Then, eventually nga, pwede tayong maglagay ng helideck dyan sa BRP Sierra Madre. So yung rotation, pwede rin ganon through that. So pagka ganun kasi ginawa, sino yung haharangan nila? Hindi nila mahaharang yon. If they do anything aggressive towards that helicopter at mag-crash yun, aba, iba na yon. Problema nila yon. As you mentioned
Tama
nga,
sa
di ba?
Mutual Defense Treaty yan because very clear ang at least Trump
Yes.
and Biden na any attack on our vessels, aircrafts, and soldiers
No.
and personnel will activate the Mutual Defense Treaty.
And kaya nga nakita mo, di ba, as you observe, inaano nila, ini-skirt nila yung they're just doon lang sa gray zone sila kasi anything beyond the red line magti-trigger ng Mutual Defense Treaty. So maraming ways to resupply. As I mentioned, pwede nilang gawin itong ginagawa nila, mag-charter kayo ng wooden ship, mukha kang underdog talaga, pero itago mo yung mga tao mo para hindi sila masasaktan, di ba? Pero gusto mo ng medyo sturdy siya or all-weather ship, yung Coast Guard, meron silang ganyang vessels that can withstand typhoons, so kayang-kaya nilang water cannon and they can proceed just ignoring the water cannons of China, or they can do what the Japanese did during the Senkaku standoff, magputukan sila ng water cannon, di ba? Or they can do the heliborne approach. So these are just some of the ways na pwedeng gawin without escalating or the
Or directly
tension by
involving the
using basics.
Americans. Or directly
Yeah.
involving the Americans. Kasi feeling ko medyo ahead of time, medyo advance mag-isip yung iba na, hey, dapat yung kasama yung US sa resupply na. Ako kasi ang concern ko dito is,
Iba
we
yan.
don't want to come
Oo.
off as total America or masyadong dependent sa America because I think we're very much capable of doing this on our own. Tama
Yeah.
po sinabi na medyo malalaki-laki na yung mga Coast Guard vessels natin. Medyo matino na rin yung ibang warships natin. So, in fairness kay Pinoy,
Yeah.
and throughout the past decade, medyo nag-modernize naman yung capabilities natin. So, but siguro the US, do you think they should still have an over-the-horizon presence? Maybe just a frigates in the area or some drone, just in case to make the Chinese think twice. I mean, they have been doing that anyway, but
Yeah. Yeah.
even more explicit, institutionalized.
Okay, they have been doing that and you know why? Because sila stakeholder sila do sa Mutual Defense Treaty. Kaya binabantayan nila yung ating resupply missions because they would be able to know firsthand kung kailangan nilang i-trigger yung Mutual Defense Treaty. And yun din ang pinakang guard mo against over aggressiveness of China to the point na may masasaktan o mamamatay na Navy personnel.
Nagustuhan niyo ba ang ganitong pagtalakay? Mag-follow sa Informador FB page at mag-subscribe sa Informador YouTube channel. Ang Informador ay nilikha ng mga staff ni Atty. Ricky Tumutorgo, aka Insurrecto, upang lalong lumawak ang inaabot ng pagpapalaganap ng katotohanan at